Namaskar.
And namaste to all of you. And welcome, sir, Mr. S.K. Kapoor, sir.
Welcome.
And
Thank you very much.
participant, good morning and welcome in third day.
Recording in progress.
Dr. program on Vedic mathematics held at HRDC. This is the third day and very first lecture that we will deliver by very eminent speaker and scholar and active researcher in this area of the Vedic mathematics, Professor S.K. Kapoor. And sir, we have a provision as per our rules and regulation or some policy, moderator. For moderation your session, Dr. Meenakshi will be here, and welcome to Dr. Meenakshi. The moderation, she will be moderate and introduce you, sir. And this is a talk 1.5 hour. You can have 1.5 hour talk, or it is up to you. You can have 1 hour for the talk, then 30 minutes for discussion. It is up to you, sir. And Professor S.K. Kapoor is very eminent, as I already told you, and he has did 2 PhD, 2 doctorate that Dr. Meenakshi will elaborate now. Will give the brief about Dr. S.K. Kapoor. With this, without delay in the session, I am giving, I'm requesting to Dr. Meenakshi, please take over the mic and start the process for the day 3 lecture, first lecture. Welcome, Dr. Meenakshi.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Good morning to all of you. I, Dr. Meenakshi, on behalf of HRDC HA moderator, extend a warm welcome to today's eminent speaker, Dr. S.K. Kapoor. Dr. S.K. Kapoor is well-known authority about the ancient discipline of Vedic mathematics. He has been devoted for the cause of revival of the ancient discipline. Sir pursued his PhD degree in mathematics in 1967 and LLB in 1970. He is retired from Haryana Superior Judicial Service in 2006. Sir had completed 2 PhD theses. First one is mathematical basis of Vedic literature, and second one is structural frames and systems of Samved Sanhita. Sir has been awarded Guru Hangeshwaranand Ved Ratna Puruskar 1997 by Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan for his excellence and research in the field of Vedic science and mathematics. Now, I would like to request Dr. S.K. Kapoor to continue today's session and enrich us with great knowledge. Over to you, sir.
So, welcome. Dhanyavad Sabka. Namaskaram. We are now taking up the topic. It is higher dimensional reality base of Vedic Ganita Sutras. Vedic Ganita Sutras are the source sutras. These are 16 in number. On the screen is the text. Text is in Sanskrit. Eka Adhikel Purve is the first sutra, and Gunak Samuchya is the last 16th sutra. There are just 283 letters in all in this composition. These 16 sutras are also having complementary upsutras, and these are 13 in number. First is Anurupen and last is Gunit Samuchya, Samuchya Gunita. There are 236 letters of the text of Ganita Upsutras. This complete scripture, sutras and upsutras combined, are just availing 519 letters. These 519 letters, in fact, in the sequence in which these have been organized, are in fact 519 scriptures. So big is this area, this domain. This is universal. We can handle all numbers on 10 place value system only with the help of 9 numerals and 1 place value 0. Here we are having 519 letters. So this text, which on the face of it appears to be just 16 hymns and supplemented by 13 hymns, means 29 just one word sentences, but the system in which these have been organized and the domain which these are covering is very large. It is as large as is the universe. It is as large as is the reality of our existence phenomena. It is as rich as is the richness of a life within a human body. It is as intensive as is the intensive of the existence of the earth in our universe, and it is as original source as is the sun itself. Now these words, human body, earth, sun, these on the face of it may appear to be as if these are just coined symbolic names, but from the point of view of the Vedic systems, each name is a well formulated mathematical setup. So these names as Surya or Manush or Purush or Prithvi, these are mathematical formulations. So if we want to approach Vedic way to go parallel with the reality of our existence phenomenon, then we have to approach it the Vedic way, the Vedic system way, or in the context of the Ganita Sutras, the way Ganita Sutras are organized. These sutras are in Sanskrit. These avail Devanagari alphabet. Now, Devanagari alphabet is the source alphabet. If we want to be parallel with the mathematical processes, mathematical steps, mathematical domain of Ganita Sutras, then we have to begin with Devanagari alphabet itself. Devanagari alphabet on the face of it is a sound bits organized setup. These are in script form as letters, but it is only the upper surface of it. Devanagari alphabet is a compactified alphabet. It has as many as 5 distinct compactified formats. The uppermost format is as the letters as we see on the screen in a script form and as we pronounce A, E, U and so on. This is a letters alphabet. It is the uppermost, it is the top surface. Beneath it are the other quadruple formats. First amongst them is a numbers alphabet. As we are having the letters alphabet, so parallel with it we are having numbers alphabet. The 9 vowels A to O are in terms of the numbers alphabet are simply 1 to 9. So 9 vowels get replaced by 9 whole numbers or as 9 numerals 1 to 9. Ahead the consonants 5 cross 5 Varga consonants as well are sequentially translated from letters to the numbers. The numbers for these 25 consonants are 5 cross 5 grid of numbers 1 to 5 for the first row, 2 to 6, 3 to 7, 4 to 8, 5 to 9. It in fact becomes 5 cross 5 matrix. So the potentiality of this numbers of format ultimately will take us to the way we approach algebraic equations in the matrix forms and the determinants and the subsequent mayas attached with it. The Anthastha letters and Ushmana letters as well are having their association of values as are tabulated, and followed by the Yama letters, they are getting numbers 9 to 16. So the letters alphabet is translated into numbers alphabet. With this translation, the whole domain comes within the coverage of the numbers. So from sound bits, we reach at the values of the numbers. The potentiality of the Vedic mathematics lies in its availing the Devanagari alphabet, which takes from sounds bits to the numbers values. Once we are at this alphabet, then of these alphabet, the two letters Ref and Ka, these two letters are of distinct formats. The letter Ref, Ra, is in fact of the quadruple forms, and as are tabulated on the computer screen, these sequentially get values 1, 2, 3, 4, and these four values together become hypercube 3. Is our cube, which we take it as a representative body of a 3 space. This is approached by the Vedic systems as a manifested setup of quadruple manifestations. So letter Ref is hypercube 3, which is our cube. Now we are well acquainted as that in a Treta Yuga there has been a conflict between Ram and Ravan. Both are the letters. First letters for both these formulations are Ref. Now we will be learning, and when we will be approaching the way these formulations Ref, Ram and Ravan are to be parallel with their inner folds, which are as many as 10, then we will be reaching at this table. For the present, I am not fixing the discussion up till this table, but this is just to indicate that each letter of Devanagari alphabet is having numbers values attached with it, which are technically designated as transcendental code values. Devanagari alphabet is having a transcendental code for each of the letters, and this code is as are the placement values of the letters as we had seen in the previous screen. So with this in mind, when we proceed ahead and we go to the another source letter Ka, the first consonant, which ultimately transits and transforms as a Ka Brahma, Ka Shiva and Ka Vishnu, with getting sequential unfoldment of the values as 1, 4, 5 and 6, making summation values 6